Well, good evening everybody. This is me doing a very informal video, and I make no apologies for once again featuring the excellent Dapol Manor class, this one being Dapol Manor 7827, one of the preserved ones. So it's been a while now since I've had her, and I have just got more and more impressed. The running qualities are really cool. Ever since you know, when she first ran, she was a little bit stiff, but I eased those tender wheels, as you've seen, gave her an oil round, and she is so perfect in running. Now, there's been lots of discussion on certain forums about whether or not the colour is correct. Well, the colour will all depend on the daylight and the settings of the camera. But this one, I used this white sheet of paper, which should now be looking white to you, and my camera is set to regard that as perfect white. Therefore it is showing you how it sees this locomotive, and I think that looks like a good green to me, and so there we go. I'm sure people will continue to argue about it, but she looks green to me. She looks like a British Railways Great Western Green Loco, and it is a superb model. Now let's just get her creeping forward. Now, it would be a really boring video, but she would go right the way around the layout like that. She's getting a bit of a wiggle on herself now just to get things going. So there she goes. Welcome to this Sunday, by the way. Sunday the 14th of August 2022. We're in the middle of a heat wave here in the United Kingdom, and it is so uncomfortable. I don't know about you, but I cannot sleep at night. So we'll just wait for her to come round the other side there. But at all speeds she runs beautifully. I think they must have really good gearing. It must be 40, maybe 50 to 1. Absolutely spot on. So she's not madly speedy when you turn her up towards halfway. In fact, let me show you. Let's go to halfway. Let's go to 50%. Alright, wait for her to come round again. So this is her passing at 50%. Really nice speed. Crank her up to, I don't know, let's go to 70. And she is going to fly by if she comes. So that's 70%. So all the controllability is where you want it at the lower speeds. Now I'm going to try and do something really difficult next. And what I'm trying to do is capture the firebox glow, which is impressing me far more than I thought it would. I thought it was a bit of a gimmick, really, but they've done it so well. Let's just zoom in there. I've turned the lights, studio lights, away and down. Here she comes. Yes, I could see it there, so we'll see if that's enough. And let's change position. So because I'm using a different light, this is the bar light, we need to reset the white balance to make absolutely sure there's no question. So there's my white bit of paper, and I'm just going to set the camera up so that it knows that white looks like this. That's called the white balance, when the camera sees white exactly how it should be seen. So this bit of paper should now look white, which means that everything else should look correct as well. The loco running. There she comes. What a wonderful model. And I have a question for you. Do you think we're looking at the next model of the year? Has Dapol done it? And have they produced a contender for model of the year. I certainly think they have. Now I'm going to try and bring around into camera next. I'm over the other side of the room controlling this because I haven't put my handhelds into use. I'm hoping that that's about right. A little bit short, so I can move the camera. And we'll go in and have a bit of a closer look. So isn't she lovely? I mean, it's full of innovations, and we need to keep in mind the price point, which is about £140. It's not cheap by anybody's standards, but it is cheap compared with the ludicrous prices certain other manufacturers are currently charging. When you can see new engines coming out for over £200. I mean, a brake van for nearly £50. A brake van? A little bit of rolling stock? Prices have gone extreme and ludicrous. Yet Dapol, a bit like Oxford Rail do, have produced a perfectly good model. A refined model with lots of features. I mean, I don't do DCC, but I know that I could pull that out with its little tool and slip out the DCC bits. Beautifully serviceable. I mean, the tender connection is absolutely simple. You just snap it together or pull it apart, and it doesn't pull apart when it's under load, before anyone says that. So they've really excelled themselves with this, and yeah, I really do think we could be looking at a contender for model locomotive of the year, and I really hope they get it, because they deserve it, because they've done it at a price that isn't too extreme. You know, it's all very well saying, oh, I've made a wonderful model and it's going to cost you £500. Well, who can afford that? You know, I mean, I'm working, but I can't afford to throw the massive amounts of money they weigh. The Bachmann New Class 47, well, it's got tinted windows. Well, so what? I can imagine it and save myself a fortune and stick to an old Lima one. But Dapol have done it, and they consistently do it. I really like their little B4 tank locos as well. So anyway, that's my little Sunday rant out the way. Hope you'll excuse me. But what do you think? Put it in the comments below. Are we looking at a contender for model of the year?